something to say about destiny. We think about it perhaps, but we don't often understand exactly what it's all about. Destiny to many of us means that something is in control of you. Something is having power over you. And this needs to be cleared up a little, the idea of this, because destiny is all about helping you to align you with you with yourself, you with whatever it is you intended to do when you came here. Now, if we consider this, destiny is actually giving you an opportunity to be yourself, to work towards that higher self that you have within you. It's not something that is external to you, so much so that it's getting you to do everything you don't want to do. Destiny gives you an opportunity to access something that you would enjoy doing if only you could do it. Now that sounds probably a little vague, but it's actually quite true, that if you feel that something external is taking control of you and you don't want that, then that's a different thing. That isn't destiny. The original meaning of destiny is that it brings you a series of experiences that help you to discover whatever it might have been that you were lacking. Let's not forget that destiny only really came into existence when primitive tribal life diminished. With life suddenly becoming more complex, we needed the natural influence of something beyond us, i.e. the stars, to balance out the unnatural effects of the new dominant culture spreading around us. The stars gave us access to our higher selves. So if we could reach the stars through our higher selves, then we could reach our ancestors and we could, well, remain safer than we normally would be if we didn't have that working at our sides. So being controlled by a force that is within yourself and that you could consider to be your higher self is something you can trust, something that reconnects you to a more primitive and original way of life while the world's taking a tumble into a new chaos. And it makes sense that the ancestral influences would want you to keep connected to an earlier, more primitive way of life so that you keep connected to the way life really should be. So we are so far removed from the natural world, so far removed from the natural world. It's unbelievable how far we've moved away from it. We might think that we know a lot about it, but we know absolutely nothing because it has a unique resonance, a unique character, a unique, you could say, a unique state of being that we've lost contact with. We're not integral to it anymore. We are separate. We are selves. We are individuals. We are all personally in control of everything. I'm just organising the dog here beside me, so do excuse me if I'm moving about. We are all very much within the individual that we are, and that has become far too precious. So destiny will realign us, if we allow it to, with the sort of things that are going to help us move back towards something that's going to benefit us. Now, when I'm saying this, you might think, how do we bring this about? How do we know that we are on the true path of our own destiny? We actually know it if we don't know it, if you see what I mean. It's about allowing something to speak to us, allowing something to give us some insight, some wisdom, some information, some guidance. If that guidance comes directly from the stars, then we put ourselves in a really good position. We're not moving away from what our ancestors would have wanted for us. We can use our imagination. We can use anything we've got to try and stay connected to the way life used to be. We have to almost behave like we're a flowing river. We're going along with it. Now, that doesn't mean to say we've got to accept absolutely everything that happens to us. That's not what I'm talking about. It means that we've got to let go. We've got to let go of personal ideas of what we think we need. And here's the dog. Now he's alive with his destiny. Isn't he gorgeous? Yes, we have to align ourselves with something that's going to help us transcend and help us to think or behave or act a little bit more like the natural world does, in the sense that we're not pushing against nature and we're not trying to feed off nature. A lot of us get very greedy with the natural world. The natural world is there for me and I can take what I wish from it and it understands me. And it's up to us to understand the natural world, not the other way around. I think one of the best ways to understand destiny is to look at nature, look at the natural world and see how she changes her seasons and how she does it so simply. The natural world is full of all the answers that we're looking for. So there's nothing else to say about it except we've got to let go of the personal self and try to attach ourselves to what the natural world is doing, what it's trying to say, and it's been saying what it says for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And it doesn't change. It's only humans that change and develop and grow and become better than every other being on earth, every other creature. No one's as good as a human being. Destiny doesn't always deliver us what we would like to have. Sometimes it's almost like if you're going along a road and there is a muddy patch. And in order to travel this road, you've got to pass through the muddy patch. You've got to walk through it to get to the rest of the road. Now, when this muddy patch occurs, that's like having a bad experience and saying, well, I don't want that. I don't want that. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to understand it. I don't want to get past it. I don't want to know what it's all about. But when we move through it, we've gained something. We've got through it and we're moving on through the rest of the road. Why should I go through a muddy patch? We all have to go through a muddy patch here and there. That's life. But that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. It's the road, and the road delivers us all kinds of different obstacles and hurdles that we have to get over. That's what destiny does. That's your life. Your life is full of that sort of thing. Everybody has hurdles and obstacles to overcome. So that is often what your destiny is doing for you. It's taking you through a series of events that's going to realign you and help you transform into the self, if you like, that you can be, that will end up becoming the self that is aligned with the natural world. And then it's selfless, then it ceases to be a self. It's almost like you've got to find out what your self is made of and what it can let go of before you can align yourself with the natural world and be without it and shed it like a snake's skin. And remember to ask to learn. Ask your ancestors, help me learn what I need to do while I'm here. Look to the stars that are above and beyond you. Seek out an ancestor. Try, if you can, to move into a more natural world way of thinking so that you align yourself with something of the old world that used to be. So, yeah, control. I'd rather be controlled by my destiny than anything else. That is real, proper, good, solid control. And that's the big hand I want to feel that's got hold of me. And you will find that things will change if you can only trust in this power, this force that is all part of you. It's not anyone else saying you will do this and you will do that. So personal control, personal the little you, try and let that go. Open up to the higher, the bigger, the greater. The more far-seeing, the more insightful, the more sensible, the more structured, and see where it takes you. Dog's gone to sleep now. It's nice, isn't it? I think that's enough for the moment. More later. Take care. Bye.